Hey Wargamers, we got some exciting news today on Kill Team. Now, back in March, they released a teaser kind of showing us that Kill Team was coming and giving us some vague ideas of what it will look like. But today we got an actual article from the Warhammer community team detailing how the game is going to work and a little bit more meat on what to expect. So it's the beginning of a series of articles really delving into the mechanics of Kill Team, and it just happens to be pretty darn excited about it. So yeah, so let's take a look at this article. If you haven't read it, there's a link in the description below, but hopefully you get a pretty good idea of what's in it from the video too. So we start off talking about kind of just what Kill Team is. So they have this nice video that gets you out of the 40K mindset and into the Kill Team mindset. If you're not familiar with what Kill Team is, it's basically a single squad version of 40K where every man is his own unit and, you know, kind of functions like that with some additional flares and other stuff like that. So different mechanics, but it's still in the 40K universe. And then they give us a little bit more about what's actually in the game set. So it's being developed by Games Workshop. It's kind of a hybrid of Shadespire and 40K and Shadow War Armageddon. So they're kind of meshing all those things together to produce this new monster game called Kill Team. And if you like any of those things, you should be excited about Kill Team, but basically all those things have had really positive responses. So I think that's a good sign that Kill Team is going to be a really high quality product amongst a series of high quality products, right? So we're really looking forward to something of quality here. And so they talk a little bit about what Kill Team is, and like I said, it's a small skirmish-based game, so units of about 5 to 10 people. They give an example of what a Space Marine Kill Team could look like, including a couple of Reavers, a Missile Launcher TAC Marine, a Scout, and a Primaris Sergeant. So you get the idea that this is a primarily infantry-based game. It's just a couple guys walking around in the woods or whatever, and that's the setting that we're dealing with. We're not dealing with these massive armies. We're dealing with these small, intimate skirmishes. And because of that, we have different types of specialization that every single guy in your unit can take on. So for Demolitionists, you have different tiers of abilities, and then once you get to level 4, you can kind of go and shore up some of your choices here. So they have basically at level 1, a Demolitionist, which is a type of specialization, gets the Breacher ability, which allows them to add 1 to this model's wound rolls against targets that are obscured, and then they can either specialize in grenade type weapons or in flamer type weapons, and then after that they actually improve those weapons even better. So like for a Grenadier, we could take Ammo Hound, which is an ability that says if this model is in your kill team and not out of action when you make your casualty rolls, roll a d6 on a 5 or greater, you gain 1 material. So this type of thing is kind of giving you an idea of the types of traits that we're going to see with Kill Team. It's not going to be the same type of specificity as a lot of the general rules that we see in 40K, where it's like these huge army sweeping special rules or these really generalist things. These are going to be very specialized, and I think that's really exciting because it adds not only flavor to your kill team, but it also gives you the ability to fine-tune your kill team to very particular situations. All right, moving on. They give us a little bit more information about the rules. It's going to include alternating activations. This is bringing in some of the mechanics from Shadespire. You're going to alternate activating guy 1 and then guy 2 and going back and forth with your opponent, selecting different guys to activate within a phase. So they give us an example later on about shooting phases. So in a shooting phase, it might work where I select one of my guys to shoot and then the opponent selects one of his guys to shoot, and you go back and forth within a phase like that. Whereas in 40K, I take my whole turn and then you take your whole turn. Instead, we're progressing through the phases together. There's an emphasis on terrain and boards as well in this article, and I think that's probably going to be reflective of how the game plays. It's using a really small board, so a 22-inch by 30-inch board, and on those boards they want you to have really dense terrain. So part of that is because you're dealing with such small unit sizes that, you know, if you just played on an open 22 by 30 inch board, that'd be really boring. But also having obstacles and terrain and things to kind of move around makes a lot more sense for this small of a game. Like, you really need something to not make it a let's line up and shoot each other game. You need the terrain there to really make the game engaging. And coincidentally, Games Workshop is releasing an amazing set of terrain to go along with this. And there's some more details on that later down here, but really the terrain is outstanding that they're showcasing here, and I'm pretty darn excited about that as well. They're also bringing in some components of Shadespire and also mainstream 40K with dealing with stratagems and tactics that cost command points. So basically, these are going to work kind of like as a hybridization of stratagems in 40K and the cards that you have in Shadespire, I think. But this is kind of where I'm getting a little bit more information about how the turn pacing is actually going to work. Little thing about missions, how there's open narrative and match play. They're going to keep releasing stuff for Kill Team, so this isn't something like Dreadfleet where they just, you know, where it was just a one-off. You know, we've come a long way from the Dreadfleet days of Games Workshop, but still, I think it's important to note that this is going to be an ongoing game that they're going to support, which is exciting. The first installment is going to be this Kill Team box set, which is just chock full of stuff. So, you know, they give you not only the rules for your different kill teams here, it's focusing on Adeptus Mechanicus and Genestealer cults, but it also gives you a really nice starter set of terrain. And then they're going to build on that terrain by releasing additional sets of terrain later on. So here's a preview of some of those additional terrain features, which again are fantastic. They say it's the best looking 40K terrain ever released, and I kind of have to agree with them. It's super awesome. You know, some of it is reminiscent or similar, or maybe even duplicates of some of the Armageddon stuff, but nonetheless, it looks really nice. Fantastic job with these sculpts. They're going to expand the actual Kill Team armies or factions using these starter box sets that include not only a unit of guys to be your kill team, but also some accessories that you need. And I think an important component is, again, the terrain here. So they give us a preview of this Orc Kill Team box set, and it comes with terrain that is amazing looking. You know, I can imagine these cranes as being something that people want to actively pursue it for their collections, but also has rules and functionality. So there's probably going to be some way that you can use the crane to grab some guy or knock down terrain or something. I don't know. But there's going to be rules for these terrain pieces. And that makes me wonder how much of the rumor engine stuff that we've seen over the past few months has actually been Kill Team stuff. So like a few months ago, we had a Tau piece that was in a Kill Team, or was in a rumor engine, and I thought, you know, well, this looks like its weapon or something, but maybe it's not that. Maybe what that Tau piece was a piece of terrain from their Kill Team box set. I don't know. It's probably not, but it's there enough that I think, you know, maybe some of the stuff that we've been seeing could be terrain pieces actually, and not, you know, infantry models or whatever else you want, which I think is cool. It's a way that they can supplement the terrain range while also kind of giving us a little bit more of the specialized Xenos terrain, where, you know, a lot of the terrain right now is based on the Imperium, and allows them to build some diversity into that too, using these Kill Team box sets, which is exciting. Here's an example of a Space Wolves one. Again, this is, you know, pretty Imperial themed, of course, because they're Space Wolves, but still, it's a nice little hunk of terrain that you wouldn't get otherwise. And then really the I don't know, the cherry on top are these full terrain sets that they're releasing. So a couple days ago, I saw a picture from the Knights Codex that had Knights amongst this really awesome terrain, and here we go. We have the actual box set here that includes that terrain. It's just extremely detailed stuff. So you can see that here. And I mean, I probably wouldn't spend the time to paint it that nicely, but that's also why I probably won't pick it up, just because I don't want to spend the time to paint my terrain that nicely. But if you are someone that does want to paint their terrain that nicely, I think this is a great investment. Just look at the detail there. That's amazing. That looks great. And then there's also a few accessories that they come with, like a really nice case here. If you're looking to fit really small armies, whether they're a kill team or something else, this looks like a great option. Dice and yeah, measuring tape in case you really need the specialized measuring tape for kill team, and data cards. One thing that I also wanted to talk about is this. They are releasing 16 factions at start. So there's going to be 16 different factions that will have rules available when Kill Team hits the shelves. Amongst those are going to be Tau, of course. So let's talk a little bit about what Tau might be in here for Tau. In that teaser video a few months ago, back in March, we saw a Tau Kill Team. It included some Fire Warriors and a drone. So a couple strike team members and Pathfinder maybe, and then a drone. And I think that's probably pretty standard for what we're going to see for Tau kill teams. It seems like maybe we'll get stealth suits as well, but I think strike teams, breacher teams, Pathfinders, drones, and stealth teams are probably about all we're going to get. It seems unlikely that we would have Kroot or Vespid working within a kill team, just because in the lore, those guys are more of the other. They are auxiliaries. They're not incorporated into Tau units. They serve alongside them, but not within them. And then things like crisis suits, I'm kind of 50-50 on that. I think that would be the biggest thing that we could possibly see in a kill team, but it does seem like perhaps that would be a little bit over the top, given the scale of the units that we've been talking about here. So crisis suit might be a bit heavy, but stealth suit I think seems pretty realistic, and could give you some nice gameplay options here, just because honestly there's not that much difference or differentiation or flexibility built into just strike teams, breacher teams, and Pathfinders. I think having battle suits of some sort really is important for tactical flexibility for the Tau here. All right, yeah, so we are looking at a pre-order for this in a little while, but until then, I'm pretty excited and I can't wait to see what else they release as far as content on this. We're going to get a preview with Adeptus Mechanicus, which will be out by the time you see this, but yeah, I'm pretty excited about this, and we'll keep an eye on this, and I will probably talk about the Tau preview whenever that hits. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and of course, happy wargaming. Hey everyone, this video was made possible by my supporters over on Patreon. If you also enjoyed this video, consider joining our community over there.